Australia has some of the most unique wildlife on Earth. Beau Greaves is no stranger to the variety of creatures that live in the outback of Queensland. When one adventurer dived into a muddy hole, no one could have expected what he would find. But after much wriggling about underground, he resurfaced with a whopping catch. And it was so big his cameraman couldn't hide his shock. Beau Greaves grew up on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland, Australia. The city is home to a number of beaches as well as national parks. As a result, Greaves became fascinated by the natural wonders that surrounded him from a very early age. As a youngster, Greaves would spend his days exploring. Later, he would often return home, caked in mud and carrying whatever creature he'd found that day. Whether it was a stingray, an eel, or a crab, Greaves always brought a memento back with him. It was this sense of adventure that led him to move to far north Queensland. There he ignited a passion for all things extreme and found a love for deep-sea diving. And Greaves knew his life was extraordinary, so he began making wildlife videos to help others share his experiences. Today, in fact, Greaves boasts close to 40,000 followers on his Facebook account. In his videos, meanwhile, the wildlife enthusiast gets up close and personal with some of Australia's most fearsome animals. From snakes to sharks and all manner of creepy crawlies, he's come face to face with them all. Moreover, his fans loved him for his eccentric, devil-may-care attitude. As a result, they soon got used to seeing Greaves put his safety at risk for the sake of entertainment. That said, one video from June 2017 did manage to shock them. In the footage, Greaves lays down on the ground beside what looks like a massive hole. He then proceeds to pick up a stick, which he says he'll use to disturb an animal that's hiding below ground. Turning on his front, Greaves begins to poke the stick into the hole. However, it seems the small branch's reach is not long enough, so he decides to push his head into the opening too, showing no fear of what lies within. But his efforts still prove to be fruitless. "I'm going to dig the hole out a little bit," Greaves explains to his army of viewers. "He's so far in that I'm going to have to get half my body in there to get him out." So after scooping piles of mud away from the hole with his left hand, Greaves pushes himself back into the pit. However, this time half his body descends into the cavity, leaving just his legs dangling on the outside. After a few moments, there is a commotion underground. This is followed by a muffled cry from inside the hole as Greaves exclaims. Then he asks his cameraman to give him a hand in yanking him back up onto the terra firma. As he pulls Greaves into the daylight, it becomes obvious the thrill seeker has captured something mammoth. And when the cameraman sees what Greaves has, he can't help but let out a scream. "Good on ya," he adds, extending a handshake to his daredevil colleague. The men were so excited because Greaves had caught a giant mud crab. Like other swimmer crabs, giant mud crabs have flattened back legs. However, unlike other swimmers, they also sport a rather fearsome-looking set of claws. And the giant mud crab is the biggest of all swimmer crab species, sometimes growing up to 6 pounds in weight. That explains why Greaves had to do so much wrestling to lure the beast out of its lair. However, for him, it was completely worth it. The incredible footage has garnered more than 1 million views since being posted on Facebook. Furthermore, many thousands of people have shared the video. But while this escapade turned out well, Greaves has revealed that he hasn't always been so lucky. "I've been bitten twice, nearly lost a finger, and have been close to having my wrist crushed," he has explained on Facebook. "But I guess the more you do it, the better you get at it. A few little tricks help, but the big part is where to look for them." And despite his close shaves, Greaves is keen for his followers to also give crab catching a go. In the video, he reveals how to entice the creature forward with a stick before grabbing it with a hand. "Good fun. Get out there and give it a go," he advises. What's more, giant mud crab fishing is more popular than you might think. Perhaps that's because foodies prize the crustaceans for their high meat content, and they're subsequently served up at some seafood restaurants across Australia and Southeast Asia. However, with a little bit of know-how, recreational fishers in Australia can get a taste of the crab at home. Greaves reminds his followers that using a crab hook is illegal in some parts of the country, but he adds, if you can get one out like this, you earn the feed. Since his crab video, Greaves has continued to share insights into his life in the wild with his followers, And he has no intention of stopping anytime soon. Conservation of native species is my passion, he has written on Facebook. I want to show the world why I am so in love with Australia and all its unique animal species. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider sharing it with your friends and family. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one.